I'm gonna need a drink for this one. Holy shit. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kavanaugh's Corner. I'm Andrew Kavanaugh. I just want to say thank you for coming back to the channel. We appreciate you subscribing, and just very glad to be reviewing this movie. This is a movie I've been looking forward to for a little while now. I'm a big action movie fan, and the original John Wick, actually this is the new 4K version here I'm going to be reviewing soon, so keep an eye out for that review. The original John Wick, when it came out, I missed it. I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't see it until it came out on video. This back in 2014. And my God, man, did I miss an action spectacular. The original John Wick with Keanu Reeves is one of my favorite action films of all time. Definitely one of the best action films of the last, 15, 20 years, hands down. Just because of how brutal and how realistically violent it is, even though Keanu Reeves is basically an untouchable badass, but does it in a way that makes it totally believable. So when it came to the announcement that John Wick 2 was coming out, I was very excited for that. So today I bring you my review of John Wick Chapter 2. Now, John Wick Chapter 2, I'm not going to tell you much about the story. If you've seen any of the previews, you know basically what it is that John Wick is kind of forced back into action again, and it's pretty interesting how they pull it off this time. It's definitely not as emotionally invested as the first one was. Again, I'm not even going to tell you much about the first film because I need you to kind of see it. This is a movie that demands to be watched, and you should see that. So I'm not going to tell you about it. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to spoil anything about Part 2 here. But John Wick Chapter 2 basically thrusts Keanu back into the action that we were so nicely introduced to in the first one. I honestly can't help but say, this movie is so phenomenal. The action in this movie, the stunts, even the acting, the acting is pretty good too, but this movie had me just yelling in the theater. I probably annoyed a couple people, so I apologize if you're in the theater with me, but this movie had me going off the walls. This movie is fucking crazy. I'm sorry, I have to swear, this movie is insane. If you enjoyed the action of the first one, you are going to absolutely be blown away by the second one. It actually outdoes the first movie, which I didn't think was possible, but it really does. It just destroys the first movie in terms of action. Don't get me wrong, the action in the first movie is really well done, but this one here, man, I tell you, there are a couple scenes in this movie where I was losing it because it's so nuts. Keanu Reeves is basically just the most... I gotta tell you, he is the most insane, action type actor I've seen on screen in ever, maybe. He's doing stuff in this movie in camera, meaning that, no stunt doubles. There are a few times you can tell they use stunt doubles. There are some parts where I don't care what actor you got, you're not gonna do the things that they do to John Wick in this movie. But I tell you, holy crap, man! Some of the stuff that they do in this movie, oh my God! I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but Keanu Reeves does things with guns in this movie I didn't think was humanly possible. He shoots people in this movie. He just makes shooting people look good. He just does it well. Everybody in this movie does a pretty phenomenal job. Keanu, of course, we talked about just the stunts alone. He gets a pass in my book. You could say what you want about Keanu Reeves. He's always, he's always wooden. But as this character, there's something about this character that fits him so well. Everybody in this movie, Lawrence Fishburne coming back in this as a smaller part. He's not a big role in this movie, but his part is very entertaining. Again, he gets to kind of let loose in this movie, which is nice. Lawrence Fishburne has a tendency to play very restrained characters. His character in this movie is not very restrained. I really enjoyed seeing him in a role like that. It's the first time he's been able to play a part like that in a very long time, so it was really nice to see him in this. Another actor in this movie, my God, Ian McShane. Ian McShane is just phenomenal. Again, he's brought back in this as the manager of the Continental Hotel in New York. And I think he does a great job of building this world that was really hinted at in the first film. You get such a great... you get this picture that's painted in this film of the world of these assassins, the world that John has lived in, where these assassins live, and you really get an idea of what their world is about in this. You do get a deeper understanding of that world in this film, and I think that's really great, because I found that to be one of the most interesting parts of the first film, is like, what are these gold coins? What's with the hotel? What are the rules here? And you really do get more of that in this film. And it makes the movie a little bit longer, but it really is, it does wonders for the story in this film, and I really enjoyed it. Again, other than what happens in the film, what else can I talk about? I mean, God, it just looks great. I'm pretty sure it's the same director as the first film. But, man, this guy knows how to direct action. He, just as in the first John Wick, the camera is always in a place where we have an idea of what is going on. The camera is never shaky. It's never, like, thrown all over the place. There are a few moments where the camera is moved quickly, but it's not shaky. The action is right there in front of you. Keanu putting a guy in a chokehold and blowing his brains out while the guy's between his legs. I mean, it's just ridiculous shit. Oh my God, just talking about it, I gotta have a drink. Holy shit. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Coors Light at all, but it could be. My God, I mean, this movie just had me floored the whole time. And you don't really get, like, a reprieve in this movie. You get one or two moments where you get, like, a breath, but my God, it's just action, action, action. It stops for a few minutes to calm down, then you get action, action, action. You get a fight scene, you get a massive shootout. The sets in this movie were spectacular. We get to go to a few different locales in this movie, and they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And an actor that I really did not expect to pops up in this, an Italian actor. And I was really glad to see him pop up in this. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you've seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. Really nice to see him in another film. Does a great job. And, man, even Ruby Rose in this movie is great. And she does not say a single word throughout the entire film. Literally, she says 0 words. And again, if you've seen any of the previews, you may know what I'm hinting at here. But she does a very good job. Looks phenomenal as always. I don't know what it is, but does every movie have to come out? Every movie that comes out now has to have Ruby Rose in it? I don't. She's been in like 3 movies now within the last couple weeks. I mean, what is it, like Triple X, the second, or whatever, the third Triple X movie? I didn't even bother with that shit. She was in the Resident Evil, the last Resident Evil movie that just came out a few weeks ago. Again, another one I didn't even bother with. And now this one, and I mean, I didn't see those other 2, but I guess if she's in that many movies, she's got to be bankable in some way. So I don't know. Keep Ruby rolling, I guess. I got nothing bad to say about this movie. It was just phenomenal. The action, the direction, the audio in it was amazing. You really felt all the gunshots. You felt the punches, the crunches, everything, man. Keanu was awesome. My God, I mean, just the stunts in this movie alone is enough to give it a high rating. God, I can't say enough. You got to see John Wick Chapter 2. If you love the first one, you're going to love this one. If you're not into graphic, violent action, you're going to want to stay away from this thing because, holy God, man, it's just... Whew. Except for one moment near the end is my only nitpick. There was one moment near the end that was a little wild and ridiculous, and the ending, the ending leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's on purpose. So, I mean, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm giving it a great. I liked it. I really liked it. It was awesome. Just an awesome movie. Blew me away. Just like everybody John encounters in this movie, they get blown away. I did too. So, until next time, I'm Andrew Kavanaugh. Go see John Wick Chapter 2. Great, great action movie. Again, if you're interested in seeing more reviews like this, please hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell next to it too, just in case that doesn't go off, because we want you to know when these videos come out. So again, until next time, I'm Andrew Kavanaugh. As always, thank you for coming back to Kavanaugh's Corner. And God Almighty, I gotta finish this beer off. That movie was just nuts. I can't get over that shit.